Recently, I spent some time anti-pking in the Revenant Caves, and while I was there, I saw a lot of bots running around and killing the revs. So I did a bit of investigating and found that the Rev Caves are completely overrun with bots. This looks like a job for... I decided to start my hunt at the Revenant Dragons. It didn't take long to find a suspicious account. Running north. Nice, 1 ATS. Okay, they got a fucking protector. No way, they got a whole fucking operation going on here.
Dying on my heart.
How does he have so many Voidwaker specs? So what the hell just happened? My guess is that I wasn't attacking a bot after all, but actually a gold farmer using either alts or a protection service. I was super confused about how the protector Voidwaker specced me 4 times, since that shouldn't be possible in such a short amount of time, even with a surge potion and a light bearer. But I was able to figure out the sneaky trick they were using to get extra spec, which has to do with the third account that ran in from the north. That account cast energy transfer on the PKer, allowing them to use 2 more Voidwaker specs. But I was in single combat, and energy transfer can't be used in single combat areas of the wilderness. However, the person attacking me wasn't in single combat, they were standing just inside the multi-combat area, which is why the gold farmer had to lure me north instead of running south like a normal person. Even though I was in single combat, they could still use energy transfer since the caster and receiver were both in multi. But regardless of how they did it, they did manage to kill me, so I need to get some revenge. Hey there, buddy. $300K from the Webweaver bow, from all the ether. Very nice. Nice, we got him. We got him with the whack. 500,000 buckaroos. And we got him. Bunch of ether and a little bit of rev loot as well. Yes! We got him! 400K. Now that I've gotten revenge on the gold farmers, it's time to focus on the actual bots in the Rev Caves. One of the most heavily infested spots is the lesser demons on the west side of the caves. The bots here have combat levels ranging from the mid 50s to the high 70s and use a magic short bow with an amulet of avarice. I can't attack them on my main, so it's time to call in the one defense pure. Since the Rev Caves is such an active PKing hotspot, these bots are programmed with several defensive protocols to make them as difficult as possible to kill. First, they pray mage by default, which means I can only teleblock them for 2.5 minutes instead of the normal 5 minutes. They also use an advanced prayer switching script, so the only way to hit them off prayer is to attack on the same tick that I switch my weapon. In addition, they use the bind spell to try to freeze log or get gap to escape. And finally, whenever they're frozen, they fight back with their magic short bow, preventing me from using smite and lowering my DPS by forcing me to heal. Bro just gave up already. He didn't even try. 19 mil? What? I was able to get a good number of kills on the first day, but on the second day, it suddenly became much more difficult to secure the kills. I'm not sure if they started bringing more food or I just got insane RNG on the first day, but after multiple hours without a single kill, it was clear I needed to try something else. Yes, that actually worked. As it turns out, the simplest approach ended up being the most effective. Since the bots pray mage by default, the initial darkbow spec always hits off prayer, so if I roll high enough damage, I can one-shot the bot immediately. I also follow up with the dragon throne axe spec to stack even more damage and increase my odds of securing the kill. Since this method relies purely on RNG, the bots do end up surviving most of the time, but I can quickly reset and run back out to the caves, allowing me to get way more attempts than I would in a normal PKing setup. Another benefit of the darkbow strategy is that I can use smite, since I'm doing all my damage before the bot gets a chance to shoot back. I spent around 10 days hunting bots at the Revenant Demons, and I managed to PK a grand total of 44.6 mil. But the crossbow PK was a bit of a fluke, so if we don't count that, then the total is instead 28.7 mil. Now that I've delivered some justice to the Rev Caves, it's time to set my sights outside of the wilderness. One location where bots have caused players a huge amount of frustration is the Firewatch Sentinels in Darkmire. Between bots, alts, Ironmen, and people training Slayer, it can be very difficult to find an open spot to kill them. However, I was able to find a way to disrupt some of these bots. These bots were killing Vyres in the northern part of the city. I noticed that the bots would occasionally alch something, so I grabbed some rune daggers, since they're on the Vyres drop table. I dropped a dagger inside a nearby building, and once it appeared after 1 minute, the bot took the bait and ran to pick it up. Once the bot was trapped inside the building, I stuck around to watch it for a while. It never tried to open the door. Instead, it just seemed to keep clicking on the nearest Vyre while occasionally sipping a dose of prayer potion. It stayed like this for over 15 minutes before I finally got bored and stopped watching it. According to the wiki, killing Firewatch Sentinels profits about 900k per hour, so each time I trap one of these bots, it's effectively losing about 225k, assuming it stays trapped for 15 minutes. So of course, I took some time to hop through a bunch of worlds and trap as many of these bots as I could find. It's been a couple months since I disrupted the Vyre bots, and it looks like that entire bot farm got banned, so I'd call that mission accomplished. Even with these victories, there's still a lot more that needs to be done to fight back against the bots. So I continue to strengthen my accounts, preparing for whatever battles may lie ahead in this ongoing war. When the people of Gielinor call, Bot SWAT will answer.